We've talked about Susie Wiles. She's problematic. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Son-in-law Jared Kushner has recently increased his presence with the Chiefs. No! Jared Kushner? No. Absolutely not.
Middle MAGA.
They said the former president is eyeing loyalty. That's interesting. So let's take a look. Maybe he's going to do some other good things. It doesn't matter. Even if he's not picking Vivek, probably Vivek has the funny name. I guarantee you that plays a role here with Trump. He's a good marketer. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but he just might not want to poo from The Simpsons.
Thank you. Come again.
Ideological agreement in pick. Trump team aiming for smooth transition should he win election.
Spider sense start tingling.
So that's a problematic statement right there. Aiming for a smooth transition from what? From what we got now? Where we are right now is heading downwards in a plane that's heading towards the ground. I want to course correct real quickly. So what you see here is why they have that second bullet point. The swamp is what we're going to talk about. Ousted U.S. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is seen as a top candidate to serve as chief of staff. That's what they meant by smooth transition, from swamp to swamp. McCarthy, who turned down the job in Trump's last term because he wanted to serve as speaker, has assets that Trump views positively, including an understanding of Capitol Hill, federal agencies, and budgets.
What did you say?
This is the same guy who said he doesn't have time for retribution.
I am your retribution. I am your retribution. I'm not going to have time for retribution.
He's looking at potentially Kevin McCarthy. I fully believe this article. Don't come to me with any nonsense about, well, this is a lie. Even if it is a lie, then the feedback should be, let's make sure it's a lie. Just like when Nikki Haley was seen as a possible VP pick, I think that was true. It was absolutely true. I heard Trump. I played the video where Trump was like, I don't know. He was hemming and hawing.
So never say never to picking Nikki as your running mate, or would you say never?
Well, look, I think it's unlikely because, it's one of those things. I think it's unlikely.
Let's go back to the top of the article. Vivek is out as VP. I think that's a wrap. I think that's a done deal. I believe it 100%. It all fits the politics. But they said that he does have potentially a spot as a cabinet position. It's not better than VP because with VP you could get momentum to run in 2028. So that hurts Vivek. I'm sure he would take a cabinet position, but whoever got VP would have that momentum. But if you're picking Kevin McCarthy, potentially a chief of staff, you might have Nikki Haley as VP. That's not out of the question by any means. Trump personally told Ramaswamy he won't be his vice presidential pick, according to the people briefed on the discussion, but considering him for posts like Homeland Security Secretary. Some Trump allies see Ramaswamy as ideal for the job because they say he excels at public speaking and as an Indian American, son of an immigrant, could neutralize criticism of sweeping immigration restrictions. I don't like it because of that. Their conversation, just one of many Trump has had recently with allies about administrative positions as he seized hold of the nomination. The VP pick is going to be so huge. When you got Kevin McCarthy, you're giving Vivek token positions potentially. I do believe that. So who knows? Looking at this, Elise Stefanik, super J team, super I team, just disgusting. I went completely ham on her for her unconstitutional questioning of a private institution on how they enact their own content or speech policies. It's unlawful, a violation of the First Amendment, what Elise Stefanik did with Penn and Harvard, bringing them in. Those who have impressed Trump are including Doug Burgum, who I actually like, but he's kind of awkward, but I do like him for cabinet positions here is what they're talking about. Trump has confided to close advisors and allies that none of the names circulating have impressed him much. His list of options has only grown longer, not shorter, according to people close. Kevin McCarthy, as we spoke, this is the paragraph where he is seen as a top candidate for chief of staff. I understand where Trump might be coming from. He might be like, I'll pick my people Kash Patel or whoever else for these other roles that you can trust. Who knows? Maybe Robert Barnes is AG. That's probably not going to happen. But in the dream world, I'm just saying those type of people. And then I'll have my swamp creature to be able to speak to the swamp creature aliens. I can't speak to the swamp creature, so I'm going to get a swamp creature. I'm out of that. We don't need that. I don't need that. That doesn't work. You tried that last time. That doesn't work. The former president and his advisors are eager to avoid what they see as a crucial mistake from the first term in the chaotic transition effort. Man, that transition effort got to be chaotic. They made it chaotic on purpose because they don't like you. They spied on you. And his appointment of series of top-level aides and cabinet members who sought to constrain rather than able Trump's agenda. McCarthy is going to be there to take you out by the knees. His search has been assisted by not only top aides. We've talked about Susie Wiles. She's problematic. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Son-in-law Jared Kushner has recently increased his presence with the Chiefs. No! I am so far out on Donald Trump. I am out, man. I'm out. I am out. Jared Kushner? No, absolutely not. The president's son, Donald Trump Jr., who I do like, has voiced interest in a key transition role, partly to help block. I'm perfectly fine with him bringing his son in. Maybe even, it'd be awkward to have his son as VP, but who knows? But even as allies tout loyalists who would help impose strict immigration controls, new tariffs, yeah. Jason Miller, senior Trump campaign advisor, said it's far too early to be speculating about who will fill cabinet or senior roles. I know that's real early. We need the VP. That comes usually about August, I believe, is normally when you get it. But this one could come early is what people are saying. Those who have participated in the discussions describe a quintessentially Trump experience where the former president peppers the conversation with political observations and media critiques. Okay, that's kind of his interview process. He expressed admiration for Burgum. I like that. He kind of came across as libertarian-ish to me. A billionaire who mounted a short-lived presidential bid, he got no camera time on the stage. Fellow U.S. Senators Lindsey Graham, oh my gosh, they have praised South Carolina Senator Tim Scott as a potential vice presidential pick. He's Mike Pence, but just black. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is not expected to feature in the Trump. No, we know that because I'm not going to sidetrack. DeSantis was an op against Trump the whole time. He's not for Trump. He's trying to go against Trump. He's hoping for Trump to lose, and then he'll run in 2028. Trump vents about DeSantis in private. Yeah, he should be because DeSantis never really endorsed him. DeSantis is playing games. Trump is known to change his mind about personnel. We know that. But he isn't satisfied with his roster of vice presidential possibilities. Stefanik, the number 3 House Republican, is seen as lacking national profile. I agree. Other than that and her being just a complete J-team supporting fraud. I am tired of that country of 7,000 miles away influencing us here. Or ability to deliver her home of New York State, a long-held pipe dream, but that's not going to happen. Trump has complained that Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, she's kind of been doing some virtual signaling stuff. I liked her at one point, but some of the bills, like believe it or not, I am not for the Chinese ban bill because the farmland bill, she passed the farmland bill to ban that for Chinese. Then she passed that. I think it was an executive order to say you can't use these funny like pregnant person to call women stuff. And I was like, that's stupid. We don't need that. You can just fire somebody. If somebody's saying, I don't need you. You're not the right communicator for me. You don't need to do an executive order for that. And as far as the Chinese farmland bill, you might think that I would support that. But what they did is link it to I think it's the same code as the TikTok ban bill. Really giving it up to the president to decide who's an enemy country and who's not. That's giving up state rights. If you want to take back the farmland, I'm all for it, but it's got to be local power, state power, not giving more power to the federal government. It's a code where Congress has to change the 4 countries, I believe North Korea, Iran, Russia and China, I believe, are the four countries, and the state would have no power. They tied it into the federal government. It's bizarre. So I don't know what she's doing. I don't like that. But he looks like what he said, former White House press secretary. She was actually good as press secretary to me. Waited too long to endorse him. What? That's a terrible reason. Katie Britt of it. Katie Britt of Alabama botched her odds. Okay, she's done. He was thinking about her? Oh my goodness. What is he doing? This whole suburban women thing. Bro, you and Alpha, forget about this suburban women. Botched her odds because of her widely panned response to Biden's State of the Union and was already viewed as skeptically by Trump hardliners as an ally of Senator Mitch McConnell. She's a clown. Trump sees leadership at the nation's top law enforcement agency as one of his most critical decisions. We agree with that. He clashed with his attorney generals. We know that. Well, bring in Robert Barnes. You might clash with him, but he'll be right most of the time. He's another J-team supporter, though. They all on the other squad. Senate Republicans Mike Lee of Utah, Ted Cruz of Texas are seen as possibilities for attorney general. I could do either one of them. I could do either one of them. Ted Cruz really should be a Supreme Court justice at some point. Did you see what happened with Ketanji Brown Jackson today? She argued in oral arguments with a serious face that it was a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic. And the government was trying to save people. So the First Amendment was basically in the way. She was like, well, the First Amendment, it makes it awfully hard for the government to help people on social media. It was just one of the worst moments. And I actually have been giving her props for some of her opinions. That was it. I'm done with her. That's the First Amendment. What a living constitution looks like is that you have no constitution. I digress. But going back to this, I like Mike Lee and Ted Cruz as AG. They're corporate dudes. Don't get me wrong, but you're gonna have to have some corporate dude. I don't want Kevin McCarthy. I would rather have Ted Cruz types associated with Trump if you're gonna have swamps. Trump has repeatedly discussed the idea of hiring lawyer Mike Davis. Well, Mike Davis is really good. I see Mike Davis a lot on X, and that's where I've gotten to know some of his positions, and I'm okay with that. To Senator Chuck Grassley, who previously worked at the Justice Department, possibly as acting attorney general or as White House counsel. Mike Purpura, I don't know who that is, who represented Trump in his first. Oh, I actually do know. He was actually good. Was he the one? Let me look that up. Was Mike Purpura the one that had that rant that went viral? I think he is a corporate dude, but he had that rant I actually did a video on back in the day. Let me see, the guy with the glasses. He actually did a really good job. Yeah, this is from the first impeachment. Let's just hear a little bit. This is about the putting the aid to the sunflower country on hold.
In fact, both Ambassador Yovanovitch and Mr. Tim Morrison confirmed that the Javelin missiles and the security assistance were completely unrelated.
So now he's not the one I liked as much, but that's fine. I don't know too much about him, so I'm not going to diss him. But that's the one they're looking at as White House, as I think it's White House counsel. I don't know who represented Trump in his first impeachment. White House counsel. FBI Director Christopher Wray was one of his worst. Oh my gosh, he hasn't even acknowledged how bad that was, but has earned his ire. Where has Trump? I haven't seen Trump have any ire over Christopher Wray unless I missed it. I have not seen that. Is unlikely to remain if Trump, unlikely. Wow, that's very soft language. They said the expectation is that Wray would resign. Yeah, that's probably true. Leitzer and Trump's Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Ben Carson, remain well-liked. Yeah, that's cool. Ben Carson, I do support him, even though he's on J-Team too. John Ratcliffe, who served as intelligence director. So they're going through. This is a good article. Nothing is decided, but be a game of musical chairs with possibilities, including Representative Mike Waltz, National Security Council Chief Keith Kellogg. I don't know all these. J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio. Oh, he's terrible. So that is for defense. Wait. Secretary of Defense or Secretary of State. I would support J.D. Vance for Secretary of State. That's a big upgrade for him. Updates with Trump's potential vice president list expanding rather than narrowing. In fifth paragraph, Burgum's fossil fuel support. Burgum's good. I like Burgum. Well, I got to revisit Brigham a little bit. An earlier version was corrected to reflect that Ben Carson was Secretary of Housing. So good. Let me know what you think, man. This is crazy. This Donald Trump thinking about Kevin McCarthy, man. You wild out here. MAGA, stand up. Tell this brother reconsider.
Middle MAGA.